changed my life. I used to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to remove tomato sauce from inside our microwave and soap scum off the bathtub. It's like seriously magic, and my secret weapon for cleaning the kitchen, bathroom, doors and walls, and even keeping my sneakers clean. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Greatest invention ever. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, the unicorn of cleaning.
Hey, it's Boomer Esiason. Finding the perfect hire can feel like searching for a needle in a bottomless haystack of resumes. Indeed makes hiring fast and simple with 135 skills tests to help candidates prove they have the experience your job requires. The powerful hiring platform even helps you schedule and conduct video interviews right on their site, which is probably why Indeed delivers 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest. To learn more about finding your next great hire, visit Indeed.com/credit.
You work hard and you train hard, and let's face it, sometimes it hurts. But it doesn't have to be that way. Just put it on, and Tiger Balm goes right to your aches and pains fast. That's why people around the world depend on Tiger Balm. Made from a blend of herbal ingredients, Tiger Balm is the nation's #1 selling pain-relieving ointment. Available in ultra strength and a convenient hydrogel patch. So whether you're a world-class athlete or a weekend warrior, roar back with Tiger Balm. It works where it hurts. Available at stores everywhere.
Staples Connect has everything for back to school at amazing prices. Right now, Crayola 12-count colored pencil bonus packs, 10+2 Crayola marker bonus packs, and Staples pencil boxes are just 97 cents each. So your student won't just be ready for school. There'll be tons of drawings to hang on the fridge ready.
We're gonna need a bigger refrigerator.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com/back to school today and get more than ready for school with amazing prices for everything on your list. Ends 9/18, limit 30, prices may vary online.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Capero of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
The Detroit Tigers play the Minnesota Twins. Pre-game today at 12:50 on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
Tigers come from behind to defeat the Twins 6-5. They play again this afternoon. Eric Haase, big grand slam to tie it, and Miggy drives in the winning run in the 11th inning. Now we're talking about Simone Biles in the newscast. She withdraws from the team competition yesterday and overnight withdrew from the individual all around. And look, mental health is something that is so hard for some people like myself who never had to experience firsthand, major depression or anxiety. I think a lot of us have had,
it on some
different
level.
forms of it, and I've coped with it on our own way, but never, thankfully, thus far, has it been debilitating. And so when you hear, one of the great athletes of our generation back out of the Olympics after she had a disappointing performance yesterday, there is a lot of skepticism. Maybe she couldn't deal with the failure, whatever. And as we're learning, and I didn't even realize, you look back at Simone Biles' history, it's unbelievable what she's overcome.
Yeah.
Between Larry Nassar, between things in her family, the foster. It's incredible. Her brother went to. It's amazing that she came out at least publicly to be as successful, number one, but vibrant. It was great. But we in these sports journalism world, if you even call it that, or maybe more the hot take world, when you see something like this, oh my God, how can she do this? This is the Olympics. This is ridiculous. Okay, so she's not feeling well mentally. Suck it up, all that kind of stuff. That's what a lot of, particularly men, believe in these situations. And John, I imagine for somebody like you, it's even tougher because I'm sure you've had, you've played through physical injury.
Well, and
I'm sure you've had teammates who've played through mental stuff as well.
Well, and you do, and there's no athlete that if you've played even, just in high school, now I'm not comparing any of that to what Simone Biles has had to deal with, but it's when you move up the ranks, high school to college to the pros. And then I think, and I have a ton of respect for Olympic athletes. I think especially the conversations we've had off here, you guys know that I think very highly of the U.S. Olympics and being able to compete for a gold medal or silver or bronze, whatever it is. But there's always going to be emotional anxiety when you go into a competition, because it's not necessarily like in football. Yes, I had to play against guys like Reggie White or Michael Strahan, and there's some anxiety there, but it's living up to your standard that you've set. And for Simone Biles, that's a standard that hasn't been set by really anybody else for what she's been able to do. And so it's not competing against ROC or anybody else in that competition. It's competing with her 2016 self. It's competing with her 2013 self. Whatever it is that she's in her mind that she has going on, that's where I think that she's talking about some of this pressure. Plus, like, none of us have walked in her shoes. And you mentioned it, with all that she's had to deal with, with Nasser, with her family, and now the pressure of being Simone Biles because of the standard she has set. We don't really know what it's like to be her, because you go over to Tokyo and you're not just competing as a gymnast if you're Simone Biles. You're there as a diplomat. You're there because that's what athletics has really become, and that's a lot of part of why the Olympics is so special, because everybody around the world is gathering, and it's that opportunity to show that we can all get along. And the pressure that she is under is tremendous. But I also look at it from a competitive point of view, and from her teammates' point of view. And here's where I think some of, you can say whatever you want about Simone Biles and her decision, whether it's brave or whatever you think it is. But her teammates that went on to compete and to continue to support her, like Jordan Childs, Suni Lee, Grace McCullum, when she stepped down and wasn't going to perform anymore, they all knew that they had to step up their game if they were even going to get on the podium. They ended up getting a silver medal.
Right, which is pretty good.
It's really damn good. And so I think they need to be celebrated a little bit more than people are talking about them as well.
And one thing I could really quickly, Stoney, is I think with all this, like, we can all have our opinions. John, you can have yours, I can have mine, and everybody out there can have their opinions. I think for Simone Biles, what is important to her is the opinions and the respect of her teammates and her coaches. And I think that's what would be more important to her. And honestly, for us, it really doesn't matter to her what her opinion should be.
Right, and for athletes that are in that, like if we're talking about Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff, they don't really care what we're talking about.
Or they should be.
Or they should, yeah. But the respect that they want to gain is from their coach, is from their position coach, it's from their teammates.
Now, I don't want people to take this the wrong way. Because I think, look, mental health, you cannot criticize, in my opinion, anybody for mental health decisions. Unless you can prove that somebody using mental health, they don't really have a problem, they're just using it to get out of something, okay? Simone Biles obviously is not, okay? She's had a little bit of a rough, she wasn't great in the trials. She was really good, but she wasn't great.
But I think that all plays into
it.
Right.
She kind of felt that she was losing it a little bit, and that caused her anxiety or whatever. But there is such a double standard when it comes to people's feelings towards, women in this situation than male athletes. Can you imagine? I'm not saying it's right, because it's not. Could you imagine if, I don't know, halftime of the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes or whatever, has a problem with, depression, anxiety, and can't play, and the Chiefs are behind? We sit and, just rip guys like, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, at times, coming up lane in the clutch and things like that. Suppose they, they had mental problems, anxiety, and backed out. Can you imagine the people, the criticism they would get? People would just rip them. Now, if you're a female athlete, should you get the same scorn as male athletes, or do we need to be a little more nicer to the male athlete?
Well, that's a tough question to answer.
Yeah, I know.
Because,
it's true. It's a double standard, though, isn't
there?
Yeah,
and
I
I
said
said
right
this to
or
you
it's
guys
wrong.
last night. Just imagine, because Simone Biles she's right now, a lot of people think she's the GOAT.
Right.
All right, so let's compare her to another GOAT, and that's Tom Brady. What if in the Super Bowl against Atlanta, they're down 28-3 at halftime, and Tom comes out at halftime and says, you know what, I'm not in the right place mentally, and I'm going to hand it off. I can't remember if Jimmy G was there at the time or not. Who was the anyway, it doesn't matter. Whoever the backup is, you know what, go ahead on in there and finish this game. We would have missed one of the great performances and great stories, but what would we have said about him if he had said, you know what, I'm not living up to my standard, I'm going to step away?
He would have been vilified.
Yeah.